So Adam Conover recently stepped into the lion's den, or rather Tim Pool's echo chamber, and let me tell you, it was exactly what you'd expect when genuine fact-based discussion meets a far-right mouthpiece just screaming into the void. From my perspective, and I'm coming at this as a leftist and socialist who sees the rot in our capitalist system, Adam Conover absolutely dismantled Pool, as he usually does. It's not even a fair fight when one side brings well-researched points and the other just recycles reactionary talking points. They touched on a lot Adam Conover's shift to independent media, which honestly is where the real conversations are happening away from corporate chokeholds. But then it got into the typical territory Pool navigates so called cancel culture, freedom of speech debates that conveniently ignore power structures, and the usual fear mongering about immigration. Conover, to his credit, tried to inject nuance, facts, actual legal understanding, like when they talked about the Abrego Garcia case, or student visas. He's out here trying to have a real discussion about due process and how policies affect actual human beings. But you're up against Tim Pool. This is a guy who, in my opinion, is a significant part of the problem, dragging his audience further down the far right pipeline with every broadcast. He and his ilk thrive on outrage and misinformation, painting a distorted picture of reality that serves only to uphold a broken, exploitative status quo. When they talked about DEI or racism, you could see the chasm, Conover trying to discuss systemic issues, and Poole likely defaulting to the usual dismissive, individualistic arguments that ignore centuries of history and oppression. That's the playbook, isn't it? Deny the system, blame the individuals, and keep the powerful comfortable. They even touched on media bias. And let's be real, from a Marxist viewpoint, of course, there's media bias. Most mainstream media is a tool of capital designed to protect its interests, not to inform the masses or challenge power. Conover gets that. Fool? He just weaponizes the idea of bias to fit his narrative, to discredit anything that doesn't align with his extremist worldview. The discussion around his own platform, Tenet Media, and its alleged Russian funding ties was telling. Ultimately, this wasn't a debate, it was an exhibition of two vastly different approaches to information and civic discourse. Adam Conover consistently champions critical thinking and challenges establishment narratives with well researched arguments. Tim Pool, on the other hand, seems content to be a conduit for reactionary outrage, contributing to the erosion of informed public debate. Conover won, hands down, not just by being more articulate or better informed, but by standing on the side of intellectual honesty against a tide of what I see as grift and ideological poison. We need more Adams and far fewer Pools if we're ever going to drag ourselves out of this mess.